This is a little bit off topic, but I'm so hyped right now, I can't contain myself. If you have not heard the news, the Boku no Hero Academia anime teaser trailer 1 just came out. I just made a video on it. It's probably already out. If you want to hear more about it, I'm letting you know the video is already up. But I'm just letting you know I am fucking hyped. And then I get Ginyu. So let's get into that. Is this arc about to bring back Ginyu? Because did you see in this episode what they did? Now, we do know this is a retelling, and we do know since there was a lot of things with the movie of the Resurrection of Frieza, there's many questions I had about the movie, and I think all of us can assume there was many things left out because we knew Dragon Ball Super would probably cover over that and give more explanations to what really happened or how certain events really happened to that way. And since we're going to be having like a time skip because we do know Frieza is going to get resurrected, he's going to be going into a training type arc, maybe we're going to get to see how Frieza trained, but also get to see how Goku and Vegeta got their, Super Saiyan Blue. But before we get into that, let's just talk about Ginyu, okay? So the Ginyu, what we saw in this episode, when we saw the frog, that's Ginyu. We already know. If you've watched Dragon Ball Z, you should know. That was fucking Ginyu. That was not in the movie. I watched the movie fucking twice. Because I just like my boy Frieza. Just Frieza's one of my favorite villains. And to see Ginyu pop up in this episode, I was like, whoa. Hold the fucking phone. Like, what? Ginyu? Ginyu is coming back? Like, see, they wouldn't show Ginyu. They wouldn't show him if there was not a possibility he's going to come back. And then we get a flashback to Ginyu? No. See, like, we got even a flashback with Ginyu, and then we even saw, like, a glimpse of the Ginyu Force. So, for that to happen, it makes me assume that Ginyu is going to come back. And if he does, just imagine. Okay, so Ginyu, if he does come back, I assume that Ginyu is probably going to, he probably hitched a ride on the ship. I'm going to assume that he probably hitched a ride on the ship before they took off, and that's where Ginyu's at right now. He's probably on the ship as a frog, and he might take over someone's body or something, and he might be with Lord Frieza, or they might figure out a way to kind of put him back in a regular body. So, if Ginyu does come back, my hype levels for this fucking arc is just, it's insane right now, because I want to see more information about this arc, but now knowing that there's a possibility Ginyu can come back, oh my god. So, yeah, I think we can all agree that if that does happen, that's going to add an entirely new element to this arc that we did not see coming, because, well, like I said, we do know that there's going to be crazier events in, the retelling in Dragon Ball Super, because there's more time, there's more episodes, it's not just compressed into a movie, and so there's going to be a bunch of times to where the fights are probably going to be extended. I mean, as I covered in the Battle of Gods arc, we already know the power levels in that arc was just off the wall, and Frieza, let's just already assume that's just going to be something we can't even imagine at this moment, because that's probably how ridiculous it's going to be. So, I wonder. I just wonder. Okay, so, talking about other things besides Ginyu. We're getting into the retelling of the Resurrection of Frieza, and so far I already see some huge differences with the way this is being done. There's a lot of similarities, but huge differences. Besides Ginyu, one thing that is very different with this episode is how Frieza kind of gets resurrected. Now, the dragon sequence is pretty much the same, Frieza's body parts coming back is pretty much the same, Frieza's resurrection is pretty much the same, but what is different is how Emperor Pilaf gives up the Dragon Balls, because in the movie, we just see Emperor Pilaf, he's in contact with these guys, and it just seems like, Emperor Pilaf, the way I assumed from the movie, it seemed like Emperor Pilaf knew these guys for quite a while, and they've been keeping in contact with them, and then eventually, they gave up the Dragon Balls and told him where the Dragon Balls were, because in the movie, you had it to where Frieza's men, they actually went to get the last Dragon Ball in the ocean. And in this, Pilaf and his gang, they already got all the Dragon Balls. I mean, you just had it to where, Frieza's men just came in and it's like, hey, we're gonna take these Dragon Balls, let us have the wish, and then that. And then also the sequences of the wish, too. We had the money in the movie, but we also had, like, ice cream attached onto it. So, that right there, a little bit extra stuff added on to the way, the episode is done. So, I mean, yeah, I'm glad the Emperor Pilaf stuff was already cleared up. So, it's already good news for the way this arc is going, because for them to take the time to clear that up with the Emperor Pilaf, I'm going to assume they're going to clear up the training that Frieza did, because we do know Frieza was a prodigy. I mean, it was already said. And so, Frieza to, you know, train for multiple months, him to get stronger, it makes sense. Now, it just depends on what type of training he did. It was never told what training Frieza did. So, I do hope we get also clarification of that, because that is something I'm really interested in. Most likely, the entirety of next week's episode, I'm going to assume, is going to be Frieza monologuing, talking about what he wants to do, the revenge he wants to get against Goku, and his plans of what he wants to do with his training. So, I can't wait to see how that is done. So, yeah, I mean, episode so far, very hyped. We got a little bit of a glimpse of Goku and Vegeta, and that entire scene was pretty much the exact same from the movie as well. So, we still, once again, getting into similar events in the movie, but it is slightly different with the certain order of it. So, good job for Toei Animation for actually keeping the episode very interesting, even if you've watched the movie already. So, yeah, props to them. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how do you feel about this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super? How do you feel about Frieza being resurrected? How do you feel about how the wishes were handled? How do you feel about Emperor Pilaf and the way it was handled compared to the movie? Do you feel like we're going to get clarification of what Frieza's training is? And do you think we're going to get clarification of how Vegeta and Goku get Super Saiyan Blue? Let me know in the comments below. And how do you feel about Ginyu as well? Do you think he's going to make a return? Please be safe. Chibi out.